الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد حبيبي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا ونفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا بك رب العالمين. وبعد, alhamdulillah, we are going to enter into these incredible nights, the ones we've been really looking forward to. So, alhamdulillah, all of Ramadan is Mubarak. These last nights are the epitome of all the rahmah and the barakah and the nature, the khulasa, all the hard work. So it does need Allah open another door for people to search for His mercy, and has hidden this incredible night in these odd nights, the night of Laylatul Qadr, in the odd nights. And so some people, they have, Allah has given them this ability to be able to devote their time in the masjid and up their game, seek it on another level. And they're very great, very fortunate people. I don't know, have you guys started itikaf? No, itikaf's amazing. It really is. Itikaf is a very special. I think everybody should. Not everybody's able to, by the way. There's a lot of people come into itikaf and perhaps they're better off at home. When they go back home and eat, they've got other problems. Laylatul Qadr is one, and then I think sometimes people get that wrong. They don't check. Their families are not apt to be functioning without them. They can't do that. So maybe they need them more. So sometimes you need to be at home to help them, to improve their game. And so people have to be smart about this. They're in a position where they can go, and family will be fine. Like in Hajj, you can't go Hajj if your family can't look after themselves, or if you haven't provided them the finances. You have to give them those needs before you can go. So this is an important issue. So alhamdulillah, we're entering. There's a fiqh to the i'tikaf. I wanted to try to cover this quote. Hanafi madhab. I'tikaf means remaining, to remain in a certain place. Okay, and for sure in this context, it's going to be to remain in the masjid, like in the house of God. And that's interesting because people are looking for Laylatul Qadr. And the Prophet ﷺ was also looking for Laylatul Qadr. And the Messenger of God ﷺ sat in the masjid looking for Laylatul Qadr. You see, and so there, in these nights, even if you're not sitting in itikaf, we learn that maybe one, it's sunnah to be in the masjid as much as you can. Second of all, you're most likely going to find it here. You see, there's obviously, this is the downpour of rahmah starts in these masajid, house of God. So it means to remain. For technically, we've got two definitions for i'tikaf. One is for men and one is for the ladies. So for the men, it's to remain in a mosque, a mosque which has the 5 daily prayers, a jama'ah, running in it, with the intention of i'tikaf. So you can't have a sunnah i'tikaf in a masjid that doesn't have the 5 daily jama'ahs. Like in Damascus, we used to have masajid, that would open when the markets would open. The masjids that serve that population of, the souk. And when the souk closes, the masjids close. They don't have the 5 daily prayer. They're only there for the tradesmen and the people that come. So i'tikaf must be in a masjid where people pray the 5 daily prayers. And for the women, is to remain in the designated prayer area, which is called a musalla. Now, you have musallas in university campuses and outside masajid, like workplaces. You have a place it's like a place designated for prayer. So a place, you say this is musalla. Now the rules are different. Masjid has its own rules, and a musalla is not a masjid. It's just a designated area. So the rules of the masajid of where you must be in tahara, and not wudu, but tahara, and not in janaba. okay? And a woman menstruating can't enter. Those rules don't apply to musalla. In a musalla, like in Warwick, we've got a beautiful, they have a beautiful musalla. Prayer room is women who are not praying are allowed to go in there. Somebody in Janaba would be able to go in there without feeling like they're, out of place. No, because it's just a designated area, not really a masjid. So for the ladies, they don't sit etikaf in masajid, but they sit in the masajid of their homes. And the masajid of their homes are the areas that they frequently sort of pray salah in, okay? And in some houses you have fixed rooms, in other houses everywhere they pray. So whatever works best for them, okay? It could be their bedroom, okay? It could be their living room, okay? It could be another area. That would be their etikaf area, etikaf room, okay? So these are the two, so for the men and then for the women. So can men sit etikaf at home? Not sunnah etikaf, no, like that. Can women sit etikaf in the masjid? Technically, I'm not sure, but the sunnah etikaf would be in the house, okay? That's where it would work now. Etikaf obviously has immense reward. We have a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which sort of shows you the merit of the etikaf. So we have, as narrated by Ibn Majah, okay, and Abbas radiallahu anhuma, they narrated qalat al-mu'takif. And this is actually, he said, وَقَدْ رَوَى this is from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. هُوَ يَعْكِفُ الذُّنُوبِ. The one sitting in etikaf remain, so it does etikaf from sins. Do you get it? So when they're in the masjid, they're away from, they isolate themselves from guna. Is that clear? And then he said, وَيُجْرَى لَهُ مِنَ الْحَسَنَاتِ كَعَامِلِ الْحَسَنَاتِ كُلِّهَا. And it continuously and perpetually earns reward, okay, as somebody who's doing all these different actions just for being in the masjid, okay. And so just being in the masjid and not sinning, okay, accrues a lot of good action. To be honest with you, sometimes people misunderstand. Not sinning is a type of worship. Yeah, so when somebody's not sinning, I'm not sinning, and I'm protecting myself from guna. This in itself is a type of worship. And then you have got a hadith in Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu ta'ala anhu قال, do you want to chair, uncle? اعتكف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عشر الأول من رمضان. The Prophet sat i'tikaf the first 10 days of Ramadan. Okay. And then when he said, وَاعْتَكَفْنَا مَعَهُ, said Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, so we did i'tikaf with him. فقال, and then what happened? He said, فأتاه جبريل عليه السلام came to him. فقال إن الذي تطلب أمامك, the one you have talab for, the one you're looking for is ahead of you. He's looking for Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr you're looking for, Rasulullah, it's not in the first 10, but they had done i'tikaf the first 10 seeking Laylatul Qadr. It's ahead of you. فأتكف العشر الأوسط. Then Rasulullah did the i'tikaf of the middle 10. So he did the first 10 and he remained in the middle 10. Okay. And then they did i'tikaf with him. And he came again and said, what you're looking for is ahead of you. Okay. قام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم خطيبا صبيحة 20, and he got up صلى الله عليه وسلم giving a khutbah, okay, on the morning of the 20th, okay, of Ramadan. فقال من كان اعتكف مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, whoever had kaf with the messenger, with the prophet of God صلى الله عليه وسلم, فليرجع, let him return, okay, let him return. فإني أتيت ليلة القدر وإني نسيتها وإنها في العشر الأواخر في الوتر كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. In the hadith narrated of Bukhari, Muslim said, and let them return. Okay, why? He said, what we were looking for, I have been shown it, the Laylatul Qadr, okay? Well, I had been shown it in the past. Then I was made to, so he was told when it was, then he forgot whereabouts it was in Ramadan, okay? Okay. And then he said, now I've been reminded that it's in the last 10 nights, okay? Now we know there's a reason for why he was made to forget. What was that reason? Anybody know? Two people arguing, you can say the same. Yeah, argumentation. So fighting, road rage, this is a very dangerous thing. It became the reason for why the Laylatul Qadr, the knowledge of it was removed from the Prophet momentarily. What does that show you? It shows you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this great ni'mah to the Prophet for the benefit of that ummah, okay? And people arguing, okay, can deprive the masses. You see, that's how dangerous it is. This is type of fitna. People lose it. In Ramadan especially. When you're fasting, you get more angry than you get angry the whole year long. Like it's a different type of anger. You see, and so here you have to be very careful that you're able to control it. But that's so we what do we learn from this? We learn that the Prophet in his Sunnah, he did itikaf the first 10 and the last 10. So he did the itikaf the whole month. Okay. And so people do that. I remember going to Mecca and Mukarramah in 2000, 1999, the millennium. And we went from Damascus, and subhanAllah, Allah was kind, and wallahi du'as are answered, in Ramadan. I remember coming down from the mountain and going into this Masjid Jami' Abu Nur. My friends had all gone Umrah, and I had been Hajj. I went Hajj that year in April, and then I went Umrah again in August. And then I was in Damascus, and my friends went by road, and I think I procrastinated. It wasn't like, I thought maybe I'd stay here. And then I remember going into the masjid on the 17th, 16th, and there's a guy, he had an incredible voice, and he was clean shaven, he had a moustache. He was the Imam of the mosque. He was doing army service, so they can't keep a beard. And he was doing Taraweeh. He had an incredible voice. His voice was so good that he represented Syria in a Qiraat competition in Mecca. I think he won, either won or came, and then he was allowed to pray in the Kaaba. So he was singing this nasheed, right? Wallahi, I can't remember what he said, but it was about Medina Sharif and something, and it just brought me to tears. And I'm 20, I was 20, it's my first year in Damascus, a full year, second year actually. And I just made a dua, Allah, please take me. But the visas are closed. There's no visas. The embassy was closed. So I went to the embassy. I was all alone at the embassy. And then this brother turned up, Salafi brother from London, big beard, right? Salafi brother. Really nice guy, really soft-hearted guy. And then he came and said, because I want to go Umrah. I had heard from friends that I knew actually, because on Hajj I had learned, don't speak Arabic with these dogs. They love English. Just speak English. So I knocked on and then at the same time, this heart surgeon, neurosurgeon from America, Indian, from Hyderabad, and he had arrived to see his son, him and his wife, and they wanted to go Umrah too. So here I am at the death of whatever it's called, and I knocked on it. The guy opened, "What do you want?" Maybe Saudis in there, and they got a natural type of approach, which is quite rough. Imagine with the rosa what it's like. Anyhow, I spoke in English. I said, "Good morning. How are you? Are you well? I'm from England. Look, my burgundy passport." And you just look at it thinking, England, yeah. This is working well, yeah. Just kept speaking. It was quite relentless, just like, yeah, I want to go Umrah. I knew he didn't understand. I just kept going. Yeah. I mean, my friend, he's from England, he's from America. We please. He just like, he thought it was watching an American film. Really, like, it was one of those, like, he's like, oh, wait, okay. And he went and called a friend of his friend goes, "Oh, how can I help? I speak English. How can I help you?" And I said, "Look, I want to go Umrah. I come from England. please help me, you know. And he said, wait, let me see. I didn't know where he'd gone. He went back, the ambassador was there, and he spoke to the ambassador. Ajib, the ambassador, we all went inside with our passports and he signed it, gave us a visa to go. Obviously, the nearest hotel, we went by bus, 15 quid. I remember entering Medina Sharif, subhanAllah, in Ramadan, and no hotel, nothing. I tied my, you were allowed to tie near Baqi. And I walked in, and this is incredibly random because now you walk into the masjid, you can't find space to stretch your legs. It is, you know, what is it? Encompasses about 1 million people. It's completely full of people doing itikaf. Like seriously, you can't stretch your legs. SubhanAllah, my friends, the ones they're the only ones sitting in that quarter of the masjid in a circle. Ajib. So du'as are powerful. Your heart, and you feel like just go for it. You get it? Because there's at the end of it, Allah doesn't inspire you to except that He wants to answer your du'a. Sometimes you try and it's not happening. Sometimes just something happened. Go for it. That's a moment. Get it? And so here, Ramadan is an incredible time for du'a. So we know he sat 10 the whole month. And so the point, that's a long story. The reason why I mentioned the story is because in those days, I went to Makkah first, did my Umrah. And there I met an Algerian. He came out from the Qubur, the underground, the extension, King Fahd underground. So he come out. So where are you from? He's from Algeria. So what are you doing there? So how long have you been here? The whole month. So there are people, but he was illegal. So he keeps moving around in Makkah al-Mukarramah for the entire month. So there are people like this, who do this. So we've got a wonderful hadith which, if you summarize it, okay, it mentions how somebody who sits at itikaf a night, a single night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, causes and creates a distance of like a trench between that person, the individual, and the hellfire. And they said the size of the trench is what is between the east and the west. Yeah. So, and this, I saw this in Banbury. In Banbury, Habibi Khalid, Khalid makes every class, right? Even the bid'ah class is mentioned, right? Khalid, we were in itikaf in Banbury, and there's another convert from Wickham. His name is Ibrahim Liverpool, black guy. His mum lives on Cheddar Road. We sit itikaf together. I sit with my dad every year. Khalid came in one night and sat for one night. And he woke up in the morning because I saw a dream. So what do you see? He said, I saw between you, all you guys, and the hellfire, 3 trenches. I think we've been there 3 nights. And so I saw between me and the hellfire 1 trench. I don't believe he needs the hadith, by the way. It just Khalid his dream. You get crashed to stay the night. So what you learn from this is, these type of nights, okay, and this is also encouraging the women in the house. And lots of young girls finish their exams now. You get it. Some will finish in a few days. Lots of our sisters and mothers have the weekends off, maybe, or they've got some time. You got to go and sit a night over here to come. Devote a night to the worship of your Lord, or a day. This is the type of benefit they can bring. Is that clear? Immense benefit. The purpose is to find Laylatul Qadr. The purpose is to worship God, and your worshipping coincides with Laylatul Qadr. So if you, inshallah ta'ala, the thing is, even though the Prophet told us that it's in the most likely going to be in the odd night, there's no guarantee that it will be in the odd night. It's possible it might be an even night. There's no restriction to the odd night. And according to Abu Hanifa, it moves around. It could move around into any night of Ramadan. You see? And actually, according to him, it could be any night of the year, not restricted to Ramadan. So the more likelihood is that it is in the last 10 nights. So we've got 5 odd nights. Tonight's an odd night because the itikaf starts from the 21st. So tonight is an odd night. And then we have, what is it? What's tonight? Wednesday? Tuesday night, Wednesday. Then we got Thursday night and the Friday. So the Thursday night's an odd night. They're the ones that should be on your radar. Tonight, and then Thursday night, and then Saturday night, and Monday night for sure, which is 27. And then a lot of heedlessness occurs because 27 is done. Eid preparations start, okay, and people may miss out on which night? On the Wednesday night. The Wednesday night next week will also be an odd night, 29th night. You see, so people must remain vigilant, okay, and that doesn't mean that we ignore the even night. No, that's not the point. Okay, if I could go back and try to do the fiqh of this, so we've got its excellence is obvious for the ones for the one who makes, perhaps that's why, okay, a spiritual retreat. So from amongst them has submitted their entire person to the worship of Allah Most High. Yeah, that's why it's amazing, because you've given yourself to God. You booked your holidays and you say, you know what, I'm staying here. So I'm not going here, I'm not going there, just me and Allah. Now it becomes very important that you stay away from WhatsApp or any social media. Those who are here. See why? Because those things can only distract unless one has control and they can use it in accordance to need. But I find those things are detrimental. We even found, like, we were live streaming, we kept getting disconnection. Thinking, why is that? Wireless. We found that when the lesson was happening, there was a high connection rate to the wireless of the masjid. So a lot of people had wireless codes to the masjid router, and that was damaging our connectivity. So ajib, isn't it? The people, when they come into mosque, they're still looking for Wi-Fi. Okay, really, it's really hard to do now. We have become addicted as a nation, as a people. Very fortunate are a few. They have the power to put their phones away. They have the willpower to say no. They say it's Ramadan, I'm not interested. So, but people are responsible for their own choices. These are the choices that we make, and we're responsible for them. So, one, that's why it's amazing. They devote themselves to the worship of God. Second, why is that good? Because the masjid is a place which is distance from dunya. You get it? So if you're in the masjid and you're watching World Cup, or I saw people watch Match of the Day on Saturday night, all sorts of things. I learned internet banking in the masjid in Etikaf from an uncle. You get it? He showed me, because connect me. I need to check my internet banking. I never knew what internet banking was. Wallahi, I learned it. I'll tell you the exact space in Bamboo Mosque where I learned it. This was there that he showed me this, and he like, wow, the internet banking. Mad. Yeah, like 10 years ago. So here, there's a distance. So that distance must be respected. That Allah's given. You've already made the sacrifice. So, and then drowning their entire time in actual or effective worship for the basis of this legislation is to wait from one prayer time to the next prayer time. So you've got another benefit here, which is trying to give life to the time in the masjid. One is fulfill the sunnah and the great merit of waiting for prayer time. Sometimes people in itikaf just sit in their cells. You see, these are good because they sort of keep people away, but then they miss out on a lot. What you find is a lot of time people in itikaf are making wudu adhan time. That's wrong. Really, the people in itikaf should have wudu before the adhan enters. In their mind, like some of the scholars, they would prepare for the call of God. Obviously, there's different types of worshippers. Some run once the iqamah starts. Then they start making wudu for salah. Some prepare, after the adhan. Oh, adhan's gone. Okay, let's go make wudu. Some of the great scholars of the past, they would be in wudu, in the masjid, waiting for the call to prayer. And in their heart, rejoicing. And they're already ready to go by sitting in the front line and the adhan's being called. So people in itikaf should focus on that. That all 5 prayers, they're in the front row waiting for the adhan. So in their heart there's adab towards a call to prayer. They respond before the call's even made. You see, Like when your mom calls you, you say, Hadir, and when for the one before she calls, put your hand back down. This is Allah, very different. Allah, you get there's a different type of dua that you get from somebody, like that. So here, this is a great, approach. Okay, so try to do that. Try to be there beforehand, and it also makes the one in. Okay, no, really though. So look, what's the legal status of i'tikaf? How many types of i'tikaf do we have? Two. Which ones? Okay, so one is sunnat al-mu'akkada. Which one is that? Okay, cool. And one is sunnah i'tikaf when you enter the masjid. What do you think, guys? There are three types. One is wajib, okay? One is sunnah mu'akkada, one is nafil. Okay, one is necessary, one is emphasized sunnah, and one is optional. The one necessary is what we call when you take a nazar, like you'd say, Ya Rab, Ya Allah, if I get this promotion, right? If I get this job, if I pass my driving test, if I have a baby, if I get this rishta, whatever it happens to be, I will do itikaf in the masjid, for 1 night, or 2 nights, or 3 nights, or 10 nights, whatever you say. And then that condition that you put actually is fulfilled, then you must sit itikaf. With this type of i'tikaf, it might even be outside Ramadan. It might be in Ramadan. Okay? But with this type of i'tikaf, you must have a roza. Like that. Roza is binding. Yeah? Then we have the sunnah mu'akkada, emphasize sunnah i'tikaf. This is sunnah kifaya. We have farz ain, farz kifaya. We have farz ain, farz kifaya. We have sunnah ain, sunnah kifaya. Okay? We have wajib ain, wajib kifaya. So like that, so farz ain is like what? You have to pray your own fajr. I can't pray your fajr for you. You couldn't tell somebody, Dad, sort it out for me. Tired today. That won't work. You must pray your own fajr. And then you got farz kifaya like janazah. Some people pray, the city is removed from the roof. I'tikaf is like that, and so tarawih is like that too. Tarawih and i'tikaf are sunnah kifayas. Some people sit i'tikaf in the masjid, okay, that fulfills the sunnah and removes the blame for the rest of the community, okay. And sunnah ain is like the sunnahs of salah. You have to pray them yourself. Okay? Nobody else can pray them for you. And then you've got nafli, which is so this sunnah i'tikaf is restricted to Ramadan. Okay. As for the nafli is whenever, and it's got no time restriction. This one, you spend the 21st night, you leave the night of Eid, okay, and that's the necessity. But nafli i'tikaf, whenever you enter the masjid, whenever you leave, okay. No way to sunnah i'tikaf. That's nafli i'tikaf. There's got no restriction of having fast and so forth, okay. It breaks when you leave. There's no penalty for it, okay, and so forth. You've got. So there's two conditions, okay, for i'tikaf. One is that one has an intention, okay, and they remain in the masjid. What falls out of the boundaries of Jubilee Mosque and Tanveer Masjid? Each masjid has boundaries, right, and that are not part of the masjid. Yeah, for us, that door is an exit door. As soon as you leave that door, you're out of the masjid. There are other amenities there, isn't there? Like there's a kitchen there. There's bathroom facilities there. Somebody might need the kitchen. Why? Because they want to warm their food up. They might need to gargle. They might need to. When they have a reason to go out there, a reason, okay, a valid reason, they're allowed to. It won't affect their i'tikaf. To take a phone call, no. You see, okay, is that clear? Private phone call, no. Yeah, there might be a reason for it, yeah. But generally you need reason. I'm getting some fresh air. No. You see, I'm going to faint. I need some air. Yes. Okay. And this, as far as I understand, this is out of the masjid. Because the staircase, okay, and the alleyway is not part of the mosque. So you may use that get downstairs as a necessity, but to camp there and sit there and read Quran, no. You see? And we get people hanging out near the shoe areas. Yeah. What for? Yeah, you shouldn't be out there. And so you have to be careful of these areas. Some people have done it to carve in that back room. That back room is not masjid. It's never been masjid, as far as I understand. I think the Imam Sahib used to live in those quarters, and then it became a place for the ladies who were not praying. They put this. So now look, a woman who's praying, doing i'tikaf in home, she has her room. She needs food. She can go to the kitchen and warm her own food up. If you had nobody to give you food, some people don't have family, so they need to go where? To one of the shops to buy food. Can they go buy food? Yeah, they could go to the shop, okay, buy their fish and chips, and come back in, and their i'tikaf is valid because there's a need to get it. Is that clear? Because they've got nobody else to do it for them. That wouldn't break their i'tikaf because there's a need. Is that clear? If I had nobody to go and bring my food from the house, I can go to the house, pick it up, come back. There's a need. Okay, so those needs, okay, don't break. Remember, in the olden days, the toilets were not attached; they would be out, so people would leave and relieve and then come back. Exactly, and the food and so forth would be the same. Treats is not a need. Yeah, I need a treat. You get it. And so it's trying to sort of, understand this. I hope that makes sense.
You have to talk to people on the way.
Yeah, it did. Oh, it's an excellent question. This question of talking. It's against the sunnah not to talk. For you to remain silent in i'tikaf, thinking that it's a virtuous thing, okay, by part of the sunnah to remain silent, and some of our elderly think like this, that's not true. It doesn't break your i'tikaf to talk. For you to choose not to talk because you're scared you might say something that's useless, or you might, with some people, as soon as you start talking, khalas, so you think, you just sort of isolate yourself. That's different. Then it's not a problem. That could be rewarding too, because you'll, keep yourself focused. So I think that's a misunderstanding. My dad had that misunderstanding when they went to i'tikaf. About, I told this smoking story. So my dad, i'tikaf is an amazing opportunity. My dad went and sat in i'tikaf in Banbury years ago. The only one, took his cigarettes with him. So he was going to smoke at night. And everybody's gone. We go to the toilet and smoke. Sorry, Dad. He's in it. Himself not to talk. Thought that's part of the i'tikaf. To his phone, didn't talk. Happened that night. He had gone to smoke. Took his cigarettes, everybody had gone. He went to the bathrooms to smoke. And he went there, pulled his cigarettes out. There's no lighter. Because my brother had taken the lighter. He didn't have cigarette for the first time in his life, after how many years, no cigarette. Can you imagine? It's cold turkey. It took off like what he's going through. So the next night he wrote, he came and wrote Chitti, right, bring me a lighter. Okay? So my brother, it's a fair play. So he went and went home, took his other clothes to bring him a lighter, brought the lighter, okay, and at night, can you imagine, he's gone to sleep, everyone's gone home from Tarawih. He went, he took the lighter, lo behold, no cigarettes. But he took his sign. Because some people think, what's happening here? Oi, where are you? I said I'm not going to talk, but I'm talking now. What have you done to my i'tikaf? He didn't. He said, I said, what did you feel? He goes, I felt God sent me a sign. Because I never smoked again. I never smoked again. Yeah, and this is a thing. These are great opportunities to let go of things. Either you do or you don't. It's our decision. We've got to make these choices and sacrifices to become winners. So here, so that's that. Now look, so what should people do during i'tikaf? So we said you can talk, it doesn't break at all. You may talk, okay? talking is not an issue. You can't wrestle, you can't fight. We've had fights here in Itikaf. We've had wrestling here in Itikaf. Okay, so no, that's dangerous. Yeah, so we say, what should you do? Of course, you should have a timetable. But what do I do? Some people don't know what to do. They only know Fard prayers. You know, and like, how much Quran am I supposed to read? You see, like how much Quran can you read? So it becomes very important to vary. To have a timetable, and you've got lots of different activities spread out. I feel you get much more out of that. You see. So here, what type of things can you do? Pardon? You read books. I can open up a library for you. Yeah. What else can you do? Read Quran for sure. Salawat. Put yourself a target. For example, I'm going to do 1,000 or 100,000. La ilaha illallah. That's good. Salawat. What else can you do? You can do qada prayers. You can do lots of beautiful nafil prayers that we have, part of the sunnah. So I'm not going to miss my tahajjud. Okay, I'm going to stay awake the whole night, but I'm going to pray Qiyamul Layl. Okay, that's clear. I'm going to do maybe 100 rak'ahs a night. I'm going to do 2, but I'm going to read loads in them. But I haven't memorized much. What do I do there? I use my phone. You may use your phone. Get it? To read from. Allahu Akbar. Get it? Go on, Hafiz. Get it? You're on it. Google Glass, or it's not a problem. It's good. Have a benefit from it. Have a night where you pray long, like the Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so here, Quran, okay, and dhikr, reading, nawafil, qada. You got Salat Ishraq in the morning, Salat al-Duha in the morning. If you stay awake the whole night, really something like this. You pray Maghrib, you break your fast. You knock out Salat al-Tasbih between Maghrib and Isha. Get it? 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Get Salat al-Tasbih every day. Okay. Come Taraweeh prayer, you do your Taraweeh. Okay. That's it. After Taraweeh, you have a nap. Maybe you not a nap, but you take a break. Breaks are important. Okay. And then you say to yourself, well, the night's short anyway, right? Then you divide your night into a few things. Okay. And maybe some Quran recitation, very important, okay? Some nawafil prayer, some zikr, okay? Dua, a dua where you cry, a dua where you beg Allah, a dua where you're not moving until your mustache is soaked with tears. You get it? Like this is a condition that you put yourself. So here you sort of spread it out. A dua for who? After why? Don't know who to make dua for. Make dua for the whole ummah. Lots of people learn from other people. Listen to some of the du'as. Take inspiration from there. You might have a du'a book. Use that and read that. Okay, making du'a. So here it's something like this. So very and moving around. Sometimes staying in one place is too hard. Move. Like I love to do that. Right, but here I go into another room in the house. I go to all the rooms. And my wife said, what are you doing? It's easier for me if I move around. If I stay in one place, I can't. I can't go move around. So here, move around, pray. And maybe you even in your mind, and nobody knows, you have in your mind a target. I'm going to pray on every single prayer mat in the masjid. Yeah, nobody knows what you're doing. I mean, one night you move from his mattress and try very quickly, put it back here, just to keep the mind busy. So here, there's lots of things to do. So reciting, remember, reciting is thing to do. If Allah opens that door for you, you're on something amazing. Sometimes really hard. Sometimes not opening. It's really hard to read. Sometimes it opens. Oh boy, when it opens, you just like knocking that smile after smile. It's amazing. And so here, and recite. Maybe you have a target. I remember one Ramadan. I think it was last day of Ramadan. I felt like I mentioned this. Maybe someone can be inspired by it, and not feel like things are impossible. I remember last night of Ramadan. I had a really bad Ramadan for myself. I felt like I didn't do enough, and so I thought, came back 3 o'clock in the morning. It was the last day of Ramadan, 30th. I had a flu. I remember sitting 3:30, 4 o'clock. I said, nah, man, I'm going to read Quran. I finished the Quran in a day. I was really behind. So I said to myself, that's it. So I said, how am I going to do this? I said, I sent a text message, somebody, are you going to sponsor me? I'll read Quran for Syria. Whatever you give, I'll give. And when I did a sister, Allah bless, she's the first one to respond back. So I'll give you £500 for Syria to read. And that's it. I said, khalas. So I sat and read 10 juz up until 8 o'clock in the morning. I remember, like I read for like, you can imagine reading, right? 8 o'clock, I was done. I was working out how I'm going to finish this. So then 10 juz, I've got 20 to do. I had to go to sleep. I had to sleep. It was impossible. I was never going to wake up 12 o'clock. I had to wake up 12 o'clock to make it work. It was, you get it. And me and my deep sleep, I need like, what's it called? Sonic boom alarm clock to wake up. I'm going to do that. Wallahi, I woke up without the alarm clock. Like 10 to 12, I jumped out of bed, 10 to 12. Oh yeah, 5 pages, yeah, run, wuzu. Off I read. Wallahi, before Maghrib, I think I finished the whole Quran. To me, like, Allah bless my teacher, he inspired me, Shaykh He said to us, he goes, why don't you read the whole Quran, Ramadan? Like I have a target. Because I do this every Ramadan, I have a day where I read the whole Quran. So how do you do that? You can't do that in Jubilee Road. Okay, you can't find us. Everybody's, okay, they were disturbing you. Because I go to a mosque where nobody knows me. You get it? And so there, nobody's going to come disturb you. So I read like this. So the point being is, it's doable. You must say, well, I can't do that, but I've never done 10 juz in a day. You break records. It's doable. When you put yourself to it and you push yourself like this, and the tabi'een and the great scholars read 2 Qurans a day. Some people are like, nah, they're doing calculations to get it. You're doing calculations because you're going according to your pace. When you know the Quran by heart, right, you read it so fast on your tongue. You get it? Like you can do it. A Hafiz can probably do on his tongue a juz in 10 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised. Like on his tongue. Yeah, I'm sure they can. So here, so there's lots of ways, but it's important to push the boundaries. You get it? Is that clear? You recite the book of Allah with reflection, contemplation, and passion. You move it around. A bit of reading, focus on reading, a bit of translation. You get it? A bit of tajweed, improving, get it? And so forth. So you do. And then dhikr of Allah. Loads of dhikr to do. For sure, you need to have 1,000 salawat, 1,000 astaghfirullah, 1,000 la ilaha illallah. How do you do that again? 1,000? Oh God, spread it out. Every hour, say I'm going to do 100 istighfar, 100 durud sharif, 100 la ilaha illallah, then do something else, then do something else, get it, go around. Next hour, let's do a little bit, get it. And like this, you find you do so much. Sometimes when you sit and try to do one thing, you fail. Get it? So vary. Get it? Insan loves that. You don't like an iftar to have samosa every day. You get it? As a human being, what do you like? You like variety. You get it? You like to have mangoes. Mangoes actually we can get away with every day. Yeah, they're nice when they're cold, mashallah. But Insan loves variety. Insan loves that. Insan gets bored. That's why Abdullah bin Masud was asked, so please give us a lecture every day. We love your lectures. He said, no, because I'm scared and get bored of me. So every Thursday night he would fix for a lecture. You see, here, when you get something too often. So here, move it around every hour. This is why timetable is going to be key. Spreading out your time. And this is not just for itikafi, this is for everybody. And now, what do I do? I need to plan. When I plan, you nail it better. You get things done. You get more done. If I put things down and write things I need to do, I start taking off. I'll get everything done. You get it? And I have time left. So here, organization is key. We're really poor as a nation with organization, institutes, imams, and everybody. So this is going to be really important. Okay. I wouldn't deprive. Again, there are lots of lectures happening or lessons happening. There's another thing I would add. Some people got lots of podcasts and beautiful things online on their phones. That's not a bad idea. You get it? Maybe you've always wanted to listen to the seerah. Download the seerah and listen to it. I remember listening to the seerah of, Shaykh Hamza does the seerah lectures. Wallahi, they were so addictive. I sat down in my room, right, lie down, and I listened to the entire set over 3 days, or 2.5 days. One CD, another CD. I did lying down. They were amazing. Who are you with? Rasulullah Sallallahu. Listening to the seerah, salawat on your tongue, durood sharif running. Ibadah. That is amazing ibadah because you're understanding the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu. So you could drop your headphones and off you go. Yeah, a bit of seerah, a bit of Quran, okay, vary it. You see. So and the objective is what? Ya Allah, Laylatul Qadr. Here I am intending to draw nearer to you through learning the seerah, through the dhikr, through the Quran. Yeah, all the time, intention needs to be alive. What you can't do is start to get bored. And you can't start saying, when's Eid? Get it? I need a barber to come in. You don't bring a barber to the masjid. You bring barbers to the masjid. Focus on your work. You get it? Your work is, the last thing you want is your heart to say, when's Eid? Get it? Get taqiyya. You get tired. Get tired. You're going to find a way to keep the thoughts away. How does one end i'tikaf? Again, I think, again, here, time wasting, get a lot of that. Start chatting. It's okay to communicate and socialize, you get it? Then start telling your life story. There are some people you can help by talking to them. That might be different because you're targeting an individual, you're helping them, you get it? But, really, life stories and work, and leave that. That's not for here. Can you do business in the masjid? Like some of you guys might be businessmen, women. You can't. If you got a shop, and you got a business, get it? And you need to make phone calls. You're allowed to do that. You're even allowed to have somebody come in and draft a contract, okay, and give an invoice if you need to. That doesn't break the itikaf. You get it? It's not saying completely disconnect with the world. Some of those things that you're rozi pani, you can't leave that. So if there was a need, it wouldn't be an issue. You see, ajib, isn't it? So it's not like there's flexibility there. So here, sort of, depending on your work and so forth, alhamdulillah, you might need to answer phone calls. Why? When you answer phone calls, you might even need to leave the masjid. Why? There's a kick-off at home. You're allowed to go to fix a problem and come back again. Is that clear? So where there's a necessity, it's not an issue. Some rules, you must leave the masjid if you need to have a ghusl. Okay. So if somebody has a wet dream or something like this, they have to leave the masjid right away and go and take a ghusl, shower. Is that clear? That's absolutely fine. Outside that, can I take a shower? This question comes a lot. Like, I feel dirty. I'm used to having a shower every day. What do you think? Can you? Pardon? Needed means what? Because when you talk fiqh-wise, what does needed mean? Needed is a ghusl farz. Get it? That for sure, nobody argues. Good point. I used to always say to people, look, when you're in i'tikaf, you shouldn't go out and have a shower. There's no need for you to go and have a shower. Go make wuzu, wash a bit more, fair play. You see, where's the need for a shower? You see, you're here for a purpose. What's the purpose? You're busying yourself in ibadah and looking for Laylatul Qadr. That shower is connected to what? However, the scholars say, look, if you break your wuzu, okay, and you need to make wuzu, right, you could intend to make wuzu and have a quick shower because it doesn't take so much, it doesn't take much time, does it? How much more does it take? Well, it depends who's having the shower. Can't have those showers here, so you could have a shower in a minute, easily. You go in for a minute, alhamdulillah, and it's washing, isn't it? So here, if it's like that, fine. But if you're going to go in there 25, do your khat shat and shave and everything, then no. then that would break it because you're now unnecessarily staying outside. And so whenever you go out of the masjid without need, it would break your etikaf. Is that clear?
Someone who they become very, very tired and they get out freshen me up and
Yeah, I think that if you're really tired, but I think 10 minutes is too long. How long does it take to make wudu? Few minutes, 30 seconds. I just got the record, okay? I can make wudu in 30 seconds, but a minute, a few minutes, that's the type of shower, wallahu alam, that would be permitted. Why? Because the need is to wash the body, to rejuvenate. You can do that in a short time. So 5-10 minutes. I think that's a problem. What do you think?
they take a minute to move the water.
Alhamdulillah, we don't have those issues. The masjid has hot water all year long. Okay, I think so. They have heaters on all year long. So, there's a need. You get it. So put the boiler on, like the ladies in the house, for example. They put the boiler on and come back to their musalla place, and then go back when there's a need. You see, yes. No, that's not part of the mosque. Remember, wuzu khana is not part of the masjid. So you can go there. So people, some of them that's part of the mosque, so they sit there chatting. Yeah, well, go on, bro, you're good. Yeah, I've done this ibadah, that ibadah on their phone. What are you doing out there? Get in the mosque. This is mosque. No, it's not. Mosque is where the red carpet is. So people must differentiate. Okay. And ladies in the house, same thing. They need to have a shower. They can go. They come back. Guests have come. Can you have guests? You can have people visit you. Yeah, like they can come. It's not an issue. Children can come. Etc. Even women would be technically allowed to come, as long as there's no contact and shower and these things will break the etikaf. So here, but there's no harm even in the house to have a guest coming. You see, it shouldn't be like, oh, let's go chill out with Gran and everybody take their iftar inside. No, sort of leave them to it. But children coming and going is not an issue. Are there any other questions? No. It would be nafli, but it's good. I don't know about the mosque policy, but I think it's a good thing. I always think the best etikaf somewhere you don't know anybody. So go to another town and sit etikaf. Like Peterborough Mosque is amazing. Kanashana, a lovely masjid. It's nice and big, So it's good to go. I know one of my friends. He goes to Spain, to Le Rosales place. The Muslims there. Does the etikaf there? It's amazing. And so, if you've got a few nights, come for those few nights. There's a real buzz. The nights are short, by the way. You've got 2 timetables, right? Depends on how you close your fast. So if you're closing your fast to 1:10, 1:12, the night is short. There's a benefit there, but the benefit there is that you can really nail the night. In the sense that you've got 4 hours, from Maghrib, to Isha, and the Taraweeh comes in, and before you know it, you're already closing your fast. And those who close their fast at 3 something, then obviously they've got a bit more time. But the night's short. If the night's short, that means there should be a real push to try to pray Fajr and stay awake until sunrise, and then pray Ishraq and then hit the sack. If you find some people sleep a lot in itikaf, I wouldn't say astaghfirullah, itikaf kya karna, ye kya kar rahi hai, leave them alone. For some people, that's good for them. The more they sleep, the better for you. And maybe for them as well. Some people are ill, they've got medication, they've got lots of their own. It's not a problem, alhamdulillah. For sure, we want people to be pushing themselves and busy. Who's sitting at itikaf in Jubilee? You're here, alhamdulillah. You're sitting in Tanveer, uncle? Alhamdulillah. We'll give you enough time to get there. Enough, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And you guys going to pop in? Inshallah. Study? Dr. Saab? Inshallah. How did these come in, inshallah? So here, I think it'd be good. For family, kids, nephews, bring them in. Get them used to connecting to the masjid, maybe the prayers, maybe even, like Dhuhr to Asr or Asr to Maghrib. Let's do i'tikaf for an hour, for one prayer time to another, or something like this. I don't know if I missed anything. Is there anything else? You've done this so many years, now. Like, yeah, those things are, so, wearing itir, okay, is not an issue. Wearing sprays, again, according to some, it's not a problem. Obviously, it's better to stick to the oils. But, that's good. If somebody had to break wind, what do? They should go outside. They should, they're asleep and they do it. Not their fault. You see what I mean? Some people snore. Yeah, they snore. What can you do? Yeah, not much. You see, a peg, you can put a peg on the nose. You get it? No. And people must have adab, high adab. You get it? A lot of people fall into backbiting at the car. So, karate मारना रहना यार ये क्या इत्तेफाक है यार ये 15 घंटे के सोते यार ये तक कितना खा ला यार astaghfirullah. You damage. Can you imagine the damage you do to your spirituality like that? At the same time, let's respect the elders. Some of them, don't hear well. They might be shouting, but they're just talking. So respect that, honor. Great opportunity to do khidmah. This is serve. Another issue in i'tikaf is food wasted. It's a real problem. Be smart enough to say, look, I don't need food, and we can share. Today's your turn, tomorrow's your turn. Take turns, and when there's too much food, find a way quickly to distribute it. And a whole lot of food, go give it downstairs, where they're going to have lots of people. I find that a real issue. It's really disturbing i'tikaf that so much food can be wasted, Just do i'tikaf, people. They have enough food. Remember, the Prophet told us the food for one person is enough for two. The two enough for four. So here it is, to have that, to believe that. You see that there's so it's not, no. So be careful about that as well. A great opportunity to do khidmah, maybe treat all the mu'takifin that in tomorrow's iftar is on me. It's the reward of that, or maybe serving as well, khidmah, bringing, washing, the elderly to put their food in order for them. Make sure the tea's there, wash their pandil, put it in order, clean their rubbish for them, make them, just to help them. This is, khidmah is so rewarding. So somebody who's slow and worship, khalas, pick up on this side. Get the khidmah going and so forth. Anything else?
You mentioned people who say that if I get this, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So is that something that's recommended? When they promise they're going to do something.
I can't remember. The Prophet, I can't remember. I think he did that himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then sometimes he found something better. Like, there is, I can't remember the sunnah, but it's not wrong to do it, it's not haram to do it. And as long as it's not something haram. For example, if somebody said, Wallahi, if this happens, I'll never talk to you again, that's not allowed. That won't be valid as well. That won't be binding. It's in worship that it's binding. Okay, so some people approach God and say, Ya Allah, if you give shifa to my child, Wallahi, Ya Allah, I'll give £1,000. I think there is, it's permitted for sure. Recommend it. I can't remember. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Are you coming for i'tikaf? You don't need i'tikaf. You're pure enough. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Any other questions? Hazrat, did I miss anything? Yeah. So with the early timetable, it's good to stop eating in the early time and pray later. Is that clear? Yeah. So that's better. Yeah. It would be wrong to pray alone in the masjid. Yeah. Imagine that you pray and you won't sleep. But everybody goes down to pray for you, come back again. And then when you wake up, say, I pray for you to get tuta. Because according to them, when they started, when they closed the fast and say, be careful, don't cause fitna. See, because when they close their fast, he's sleeping. He's prayed Fajr, can't sleep. You know, when they pray Fajr, come back. Again, another thing is sometimes people are sleeping and their prayers wake them up gently, with love. You get it? Wake them up. Keep waking them up until they get up. Like you can't allow your neighbor to sleep through Fajr while she's there. Why? Wake him up. Why are you shy? Wake him up. Come on, you guys don't want to fall into guna. So gently, with love. Bismillah ya fulan ya habibi. Bit water. You know, get up, Fajr, Bismillah. You see, somebody missed Fajr, think, okay, Fajr is going to pray. You get these conversations, you do stuff like that. Not good. It's not the place for it. Alhamdulillah, watch our tongue. Really important to watch tongue. Sins that we commit to the tongue are easy. Easy to say. Like in Ramadan, about people swearing. You really swear in Ramadan? Are you alright? So it's easy, get it, to do these things. Any other questions? Have I missed anything? For the ladies, anything else for the women in the house? Oh, and if she starts menstruating, okay, then her itikaf would come to an end. Okay, but that doesn't stop her from still doing dhikr and so forth. You get it? No harm. You get it? There's other things that you can do, right? A menstruating woman not going to see Laylatul Qadr. Who said that? Of course she can. The hadith says, the Prophet told us to give life to these nights. And so he mentioned too, qiyam, like that. Okay? Standing. That's the best, to be worshipping, standing, tarawih and so forth, like that. After that, any worship, inshallah ta'ala, good. Alhamdulillah. We stop here. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. We have to work out how we're going to run the classes. I think it should be fine after Asr. You see. So we have the app, we have things live, so alhamdulillah, no excuses, inshallah ta'ala. You just have to find a way to push yourself another level. Yeah, it's like that last minute revision. You get that zone's amazing zone to be in. And you just sort of, you lose sleep and you lose your appetite. You're just worried about exams and you push. You get so much revision done. Like some people work like that. I'm like that. You tell me deadline coming, then suddenly something happens to my body, right? Get it? I can get. Some people are really good with their revision. I'm really poor, but that works for me. So I'm going to 3-4 hours sleep. Some people are saying right now, thinking 3-4 hours sleep. That's what I sleep every day. That's your exam mode sleep. Yeah. Ya marhaban. Back for i'tikaf. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You have any questions? No? Yes. Well, we know from the Sunnah of the Prophet is that the right foot. Whenever you enter the masjid, it will be the gate downstairs. That front door is the masjid. When you enter the masjid, it's Bismillah, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. You enter with your right foot, Allahumma aftah li abwaba rahmatik. It's nawaitu sunnat al-i'tikaf fi hadha al-masjid ma dumtu fihi. I intend the sunnah of i'tikaf as long as I'm in this masjid. Okay. That's the way. You get it? Adab is into maybe have wudu from home. You get it? Some people come make wudu in the masjid. Why? Nice warm water. Get tulia for free as well. Get towel for free. It's fine, alhamdulillah. They pay their money, alhamdulillah. But adab, the more the better. So right foot, dua with the tongue, intention of the heart. Inshallah ta'ala, these are things. I think here, keep the heart alive. Keep the heart engaged more than the body. The heart is connected. Heart's alive. Heart's aware. Heart singing the praises of God and the Prophet. Then that's amazing. What you don't want is just the tongue. Lip service. When you're in here and these last 10 nights, it needs to. The heart needs to work. You push the heart. You might not do a lot outwardly. The idea is to do both. Get it? Push physically. That's why the Prophet said wait the whole night, and then also But make sure this is active. Yeah, this one is really, really important. Now, how's it active? How do you activate the heart? Intentions. Ya Allah. Conversation with Allah. Yeah, you're alone. Ya Allah, you said, Kadkuruni adkurkum. Yeah, if we remember you, you remember us. And you have the hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Ana jalisu man dhakarani. And I am the companion of the one. I'm seated with the one who remembers me. And when you do your dhikr, you're not alone. When you have that in your mind, you're Allah, Allah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Get it? And you know what you're reading. You get it? It becomes sweet. It becomes sweet. You know, it becomes different. So it's trying to work on the heart to do that. Some people need a photo. They need a green dome. Allahumma salli alayhi, Allahumma. Good. Some people need a Kaaba picture. You see? Whatever it takes, not a problem. Those things are not bad. You get it? They help. You might need a nasheed on. You might have your favorite nuts on your head. This is the benefit of headphones now, alhamdulillah. You get it? Get it? And you can read your salawat buzzing away. You get it? You might have your Quran on. Okay. So I think take advantage of social media and the gadgets. Because there's a lot of good in the gadgets. Like I said, especially like the prayer. Do it alone. Don't do it out here. Yeah, lots of fatwas out here. Someone grab your phone. Get So there's one guy, there's a video going around on social media. And there's a guy, I don't know if he said it, he's doing it to, I know, he's doing Umrah and he's walking Safa Marwa. He's walking. There's a guy walking with his phone. He slaps him on. He goes, "What do you do with your phone?" And he walks on. So, you know, that might be a really beautiful slap. Awakening. You know, but really, there's a lot of good things people do with their phone. So use your phone, you know, for the good. You know, so alhamdulillah. I like it for nasheeds. And like, there's a lot like SoundCloud, and there's a lot of good you can get. You know, I would push on the seerah. You know, maybe tafsir of Quran. Say I'm going to learn the tafsir of the last surahs. Surah Yasin. I love Surah Yasin. I want to learn it. Listen to the Surah Yasin tafsir. You know, go and find it. And you'll be looking like that online. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. But you have to know how strong you are. And from there you go to BBC. From there you go to football gossip transfers. You know, you don't want that. You just got to be careful. Alhamdulillah. Make dua that Allah blesses. One of the best du'as. Allahumma innaka afuwun. Tuhibbul afa fa'fu anni. Allahumma innaka afuwun kareem. Allah, you're most forgiving, most generous. Forgive me. Make dua for the ummah, inshallah. Make dua, Ya Allah, show the whole ummah Laylatul Qadr. It says, Ya Allah, show me. Make dua for the ummah. And knowing that the Prophet said, whoever makes dua for another person, Allah assigns an angel to say, may Allah give you the same. Yeah, and if you have a time in your day where you make dua for your friend, for family, Ya Allah, give them all these, Ya Allah. You get it automatically. There's one sister, she gives sadaqah every day. Every day, she's got gold. Every 30 days of Ramadan, gives sadaqah every day. You know, and every day, you give some sadaqah in the masjid. You're ticking lots of boxes. Sadaqah box, dua box, you know, zikr box, tahajjud box, nawafil box, okay, qada box, okay, khidmah box. Yeah, dua. Can you imagine the du'as that come from these people? Allah took you khush rakah. What do you need? Something. You don't know whose dua. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Fatiha ila hadrat al-Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. بنية القبول والشفاء والتوفيق. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله. صلى الله جزا الله على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. جزا الله عنا سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. جزا الله عنا سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأهله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. You'll be excited. You're going to fake it. Oh, last 10 nights. Inside your heart's dead. You just pretend, oh, you can't bring it on. You just have to fake it until you sort of you get it. Yeah, inshallah. And sometimes that happens, isn't it? Go home, tell the kids, family, Wallah, tell them, yeah, Laylatul Qadr. And then you sort of push. But Salatul Tasbih, alone, you don't need group, even if you have group, alhamdulillah. But Salatul Tasbih alone, Allah, you gotta find 25 minutes, even if you get something like that in. I love that prayer. That prayer for me, and just from my experience, I think there's never a time you pray something like that except something really feel something beautiful. It's a great gift given by the Prophet to Sayyidina Abbas, his uncle. And it's powerful, bro. It's one of those super cleaners. You get like something that cleans everything. It cleans your old sins and new sins and big sins and small sins and obvious sins and the hidden sins. Yeah, like it's one of those super Dyson cleaners. They like clean everything. It's like one of those. You get it? So they're the ones. Something like that is powerful. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Well, Allah bless you all, inshallah ta'ala. Ayakum. What the funny thing is, the recording's on 4 seconds. I think it froze at some point. Or is it working on yours? Is it? So this one's me with my mouth open. Allah forgive. Click meeting. Clickmeeting.com. And if you download it onto your phone, then what will happen? That's it. I'm not sure you can. So if you click meeting app, then do you get messages from them? Okay.